Welcome to Norse Code. So, how are things? We hope your family, your business, and your life are safe during what seems like a sped-up game of Jumanji in America at the moment. Obviously, there's more important things going on in the Twin Cities area, nay the country, than football right now, and it feels wrong to ignore them and attempt to put out a new episode where we talk about a sports team and Kirk Cousins' contract. Which isn't to say we won't cover the 30 questions a show we get on his contract again, just not this week. Here's a clip show that we previously made available only to our Patreon subscribers back in January. We hope this is preferable to Arif and I going on there, talking about how our old neighborhoods burned down, the death of George Floyd, and the state of police violence against minorities and the press in this country. If you are interested in that discussion, Arif will be taping a new episode of Wide Left shortly that you can give a listen to. But as that's not what this show is about, I give you the Patreon exclusive clip show from earlier this year. Enjoy, and please be safe. You know him from numerous blogs and podcasts around the... Sorry, we've been drinking tonight apparently because it's my bachelor party. 3, 2, 1...
Yeah.
I did see the message that Danny Kelly sent out that you described one player's reach as, quote, I bet he gives good hugs.
Well, I mean, I've never cared about like wide receiver arm length. You know, I haven't found any tests that have found that mattered. Obviously, in real life, you know, that probably matters, but it seems like all the other requisite wide receiver skills kind of overwhelm it, so it kind of reached us. So someone told me DK Metcalf had like 35-inch arms. Well, Danny told me he had 35-inch arms, and I didn't really care. And so I just tried to put it in terms that I could understand.
No. For a brief moment, you were speaking like the snowman in Frozen, and we're actually just saying that I bet he gives really big hugs. Like it humanized you for just a moment before you probably went back and tweeted something terrible about Chad Greenway.
All right, you caught me. My feelings.
Aw. You have a feeling. One. Singular. Have you seen Joker?
No, I still haven't.
Okay, I can give an opinion on that then.
Okay, I read an article in Current Affairs, which is basically just a socialist rag.
What? Not the socialist rag part. You're reading current. Was it a paper copy? Did that get forwarded to your new address?
No.
Did you go to the post office and get the little thing to make sure that all of your old socialist print magazines were going to be able to make it to the new place? Is the National coming, or is that going to be like a couple more weeks?
Anyway, we were talking about.
I'll take that as a no.
Currentaffairs.org.com, whatever. Fuck it. I went to the internet site for Current Affairs. You asshole. And they're talking about the Joker, and the thesis of the article was, it's not a left-wing movie, it's not a right-wing movie, you're just an idiot.
Wow.
I really enjoyed. They're like, well, it's like a pretty good movie, mostly because the acting is phenomenal. If you want to read a left-wing interpretation of the movie, go ahead, but like the director thinks you're dumb. If you want to read a right-wing interpretation of the movie, go ahead, but you're probably wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay.
Welcome to Norse Code, the number one podcast for your number one, let's say Minnesota Twins, because there's nothing for the Vikings right now. Your number one Minnesota Twins. I am your host. I am James Pagashnik. Thank you guys so much for listening. And on the other end of the tin cannon string, we have our analyst and co-host. You know him from theathletic.com. He is useful human and baseball enthusiast, Arif Hassan. Arif, how are you doing? Go Twins.
Go Twins.
Yeah.
They hit the ball real well.
They do. They're hitting all sorts of home runs. It's wonderful to catch up. I was worried for a while because the moment I start to follow the Twins, they usually begin their season descent into death. And I started following them again, and they haven't died yet. So
Remarkable.
kudos. I am shocked at their resiliency. I can't wait to lose to the Yankees in the first round of the playoffs in the fall. With Giants beat writer Matt Lombardo that Arif did earlier this year. I am just not able to fucking talk. What the goddamn hell?
Yeah, it's just a podcast. Don't worry about it.
3651. Does that, so let's assume that on this topic.
You actually, sorry, I know you've got a good thought, but I've got a better one. I guarantee it.
Sit down, champ.
We should induct the quote that Brett Favre says when he says, "This is the best team I've ever played with." There's some variation of it. We should induct that quote into the Ring of Honor.
Can they do that? I feel
it's their state. They can do whatever they want.
All right. Going into the mailbag here.
Get that out of the way.
So, was that an inhaler? Was that nasal spray? Or was that Coke? Are you doing key bumps again? Are you doing Matty Matheson style key bumps on the show? Has the athletic money gotten to the point of like, I'm going to get a Coke addiction along with being a writer? Like,
look,
these deadlines, I understand.
It wasn't creaky like 2 months ago. Probably have to oil it up or whatever.
Or, just lose the 5 to 10 pounds that you clearly gained.
Yeah, that's it. Let's see. Who's going to get suplexed by Gerard Davis? James is clearly eating a human right now.
It's a Pop-Tart in human form. I did tell somebody yesterday as I was moving a gigantic projection screen around the office that before they ask, this is not a body. So that's all they could think about what it was. So now, the next time it actually is a body, you're like, he joked about the body before. It's not a body. Hint, it's a body.
Interesting that there aren't a ton of questions about the Lions specifically, so I don't have to lean on an interview that doesn't happen. That's nice. Yes. Clarification, I don't just because Ryan's question is not super clear. He is talking about the first round of the XFL draft.
Correct.
Yeah.
Some poor XFL quarterback may die after getting dropped.
Right. They're all poor XFL quarterbacks. All right, yeah, whatever. Let's go.
All right.
Everyone thinks that you did the bad thing, therefore you did the bad thing. That's not explicitly what I'm doing. In fact, I even pointed out an example earlier where people said that the Colts had a good draft, but the consensus of big boards, which are not how people feel about the Colts, but just how they ranked players, says they had a bad draft. So it's not really argument ad populum, but it's close. I get it. And then he said it's groupthink, which is explicitly not groupthink, because groupthink is a phenomena where people are encouraged to think the same way and don't have or have a limited capacity in some way to think outside of the box, which is not what this is, because there's a ton of variance among these big boards, and it is not meant to enforce a particular understanding of the players. So it's actually not groupthink either. But then also he said we should trust NFL evaluators over the consensus board, which, dude, that's a logical fallacy. That's argument from authority. Go away. Anyway, that's my rant. That guy bothers me. All of you who talk about logical fallacies on Twitter 90% of the time bother me. Stop it. I think a lot about these things as a debate coach. It is not a good argument to say thing is logical fallacy. Most of the time, we know. It's not about whether or not a thing is 100% true. It's whether or not you've added to the likelihood that what you are saying is true. An argument can be compelling, correctly compelling, while also being a logical fallacy. I'm done. This is a great show. What's our catchphrase? Strive for excellence? What's the demand excellence? I gotta let you sign out. I'm bad at this.
First off, you telling people not to do something is the first way to get people.
God dang.
So if you want to tweet
The don't
at
do
Arif,
it fallacy.
yes. If you want to tweet logical fallacies to Arif, Arif Hassan NFL on Twitter. Oh, that is too bad. Well, that is going to be it for this episode of Norse Code. You went the full route. You went the whole, like... This is your fault.
At mad people. This is really funny. Someone reached out to Pierre Garçon, and they were like, hey, would you want to play for the Giants? Because the headline is, Garçon, I would love to play for the Giants. His actual quote, oh, yeah, definitely. Any team that offers me a contract.
That is 100% the Rick and Morty. I would do that for money. Like, of course. It would be silly of me not to accept that.
That was really funny. I can't believe they turned the headline into Garçon, I would love to play for the Giants, which is not wrong, but...
It might as well have just said, Pierre Garçon, I would love to play in the NFL.
Right, yeah. That's what he said. Like,
that
that's
might
all
be
he
actually
said.
More accurate than what he said.
Right, yeah. It's not wrong, but it certainly isn't right.
Pierre Garçon, I would rather not be owning a car dealership right now. I would rather not be spending all of this money on houses for my friends and family.
The restaurant in my name is not taking off in Indianapolis for some reason.
I own 3 failing barbecue restaurants in the state of Texas. Please help me. Sorry, that one was oddly specific. Yeah.
I only get 60 seconds on the turkey thing?
Consider it a challenge.
I'm pre-writing my turkey rant.
I mean, you're going to go into policy debate mode for this, aren't you?
No, I'd have to write it out like sentence by sentence. That's too much work.
Is Zimmer helping his corners in previous years, or are they playing worse?
Dude, I'm down. I used to, in college, I was able to go up to 600 words a minute. Now I'm like closer to 300. Out of practice, man, and old.
You're getting old, It's there's no shame. Well, there is some shame in it, but there's no shame in it, really.
Best days are behind me. Peaked in college, like most normal people.
As opposed to people in South Dakota who peaked in high school and are now all on meth. So it's a lot of worried North Dakotans right now. We're going to wake up one morning and all our light bulbs are going to be gone. And
Excuse me? And you're advertising this.
And RVs just as far as the eye can see. They can't arrest all of us if we all just start. Oh.
There's not enough room in prisons for all of us.
Exactly. Every RV in the country is now focused on the Badlands. Oh. Meanwhile, you could have asked anyone from North Dakota if people from South Dakota are on meth, and they would have responded with something along the lines of, probably.
Why is this drawing so much attention? We all agree.
This has been a thing for years. Like, have you been to Watertown? Like, say, pick a random town in South Dakota I've actually been to. Yeah.
Still typing my turkey stuff.
Oh, I figured. You're gonna make it.
So are there other questions that need research? I should probably find that out.
The turkey thing is most important. All right, Arif, I'm giving you 60 seconds on this. Ready, set, go.
It only took me 10 minutes to come up with the 60 seconds, so great time investment, Arif.
Yeah. Did you watch Maddie Matheson's new cooking show, by the way?
I only watched one episode.
There's only the
bone
one.
broth. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
pho. I watched Bone Broth.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it was like his own channel. I just clicked on it because I saw Maddie Matheson in my recommendations.
Yeah, he ended up like number 3 or number 4 for the day on YouTube. It's like
it's just yelling.
I know. This was a tame version. There was very little in the way of drug references. There was only like 2.
Yeah, but he started with one, so.
Well, yes. Okay, so.
So, what the hell is going on with special teams? Fair. Review of Saints game.
it is a totally fair question. I like the way I formed the thing for yesterday. It's like, we're not going to record today until the Vikings figure out what the hell they're doing at special teams anyway. Like, this might be
fun. And down from Ohio, they're not going to record until 2055.
Not wrong. Little mean, but not wrong. Yeah. So that's a thing. I'm a little worried about. I ended up picking up a new computer for the Skype call / Zencaster thing. So everything looks good on it. It is much newer, and I had to do a weird troubleshooting thing. So I'm assuming that it should be fine for the recording. Yay, hopefully, maybe. But as long as I sound fine to you, then we should be okay.
Yeah, you do.
Yay. Okay. Review of Saints game, preview of Seahawks game, and I was thinking about looking at Chicago, like if Chicago has made any major moves that we should care about, and or is Trubisky throwing to the left accurately still? Because we're getting some interesting reports out of training camp on that one.
Yeah, that one's really funny. People got so mad about that.
It was such a unique take. And then it blew up to the point of being on ESPN. And they're asking about it in friggin' press conferences. And then he's actively doing it just to spite you, presumably, not because it's open. He's forcing them to the left.
Yeah.
I will show that bald blogger. He can't comb left. There.
Oh, wow. I got fucking owned by your imaginary
Trubisky. You got imaginary Trubisky there. That's rough.
Yeah.
I know of no other QB that would treat you that poorly. I only know of like wives of QBs that block people like that.
I never got blocked by Saint.
Nope, but everybody else apparently did. I didn't, but
yeah, it didn't take much apparently. I don't know why I survived.
She's not quite at the Blaine Gabbert level.
It was you would just block anybody who interacted with it. It was incredible.
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful, and Sam Ponder was a step behind him in the race. I have to imagine that Sam Ponder just like would go on Twitter and just search for anything involving the last name Ponder, and that was negative block. That was negative block. Like nothing to do like that. That would be like some people will like read a book or whatever during their downtime. She just scrolls Twitter. She just scrolls Twitter mentions and like nope block.
She would definitely like name search, but for her husband and then block. It was so bizarre.
I think if I remember correctly, Ted got blocked at some point, and he's like, I don't even remember the tweet. This doesn't seem fair.
On the other hand, it is Ted, so.
Well, I mean, I imagine Ted did something to deserve it. I'm not, arguing that. And now my favorite Twitter handle of this particular episode, Bret Hart's Wet Hair, would like to ask, said, I'd like to hear a real deep dive into the butt sweat situation. Is this a common issue for centers? And do we have any advanced data on how this impacts QB performance? I'm with Eric Thompson on this, that I'm enjoying that this has somehow become a story this offseason.
Caleb writes in, which team has the better logo? And furthermore, isn't a Viking just a more specific type of raider?
The Raiders have the better logo. And I guess, but I think that makes it a better mascot, the more specific you are. I just think that the more general you go, most of the, there's probably a level of specificity where it's like, if it's like the Fighting Svens, you're like, well, who the hell is Sven? But although that has its own appeal, honestly. But I think the more generalized your mascot category, the less interesting it is. If the Chicago Bears were like the Chicago Sun Bears, that would be way cooler. Or even if it's just like, I would say, for example, the Memphis Grizzlies are better than the Chicago Bears as a mascot, right? And that's, Grizzlies like almost like a fake category of bear anyway. So, I think the Vikings have a better mascot, but I think the Raiders have a better logo. And Vikings, like Raiders are defined by only that job, the fact that they raid. The Vikings happened to raid, but they also happened to have this extraordinarily rich culture all across Northern Europe, Iceland, and even a little bit of Greenland. They're more farmers than they were raiders, but, we know them for the raiding, and that's why they were chosen as the mascot, because they were vicious fighters and all that. Plus, the raiding was not unique for that time. But, raiders are defined by raiding, and Vikings are defined by a broader culture. But if Vikings are a more specific raider, I think that makes the Vikings a better mascot.
Well, and I don't even need to ask your opinion on whether or not the Jaguars would be more interesting if they were called the Big Cats.
Oh, actually.
No, I'm with you. I think the Raiders kind of define themselves by the eye patch, which makes them functionally either pirates or I guess eye patch enthusiasts with a penchant against ableism or ableism, depending on your choice of pronunciation.
Ableism.
It's a thing I heard. Someone else said it. That makes it a thing.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Having been accused of being an ableist and doing my best to not laugh, I felt I had to share that with the world.
Okay.
Like, what?
Okay.
Will you write that down for me? I don't know what you're saying.
Most notably from theathletic.com and also recently featured at theringer.com. He is useful human Arif Hassan. Arif, how are you doing tonight?
I mean, you say that like I have a byline at the Ringer, which is not precisely the case.
Not accurate, just heavily cited in a fantastic piece that we will discuss a little bit more later. But a lot of people had pointed out the discussion that broke out after Mitch Trubisky's horrible, no good, very bad game to open the season, and the discussion on throwing left. And I was quite amused to see all of these people send in messages like, hey, did you see Arif's thing on? Hey, Arif, did you see that you were cited on? Like,
right.
No, Arif doesn't care for mentions. Arif doesn't care for any of these things.
Oh,
Arif
no,
is only in it for them.
I'm not even on Twitter all that often, honestly.
No, really not. I mean, it's difficult to get a hold of you on Twitter too. I mean, it's to get into some form of an argument with you on Twitter is almost unspeakable.
Oh yeah, it's just uncouth.
Beneath you for sure.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Norse Code. I'm back. Hey, there's news on the long snapper front. We might as well just open with the long snapper stuff and be like, Trump has decided to let active service members join the NFL. So,
yeah, hey, Trump is good now. Ignore everything else you've heard.
I'm so glad I recorded that. Give me water.
Son of a bitch.
in that.
When I was growing up, we had basketball cards and football cards and baseball cards that
when I was growing
we'd
up,
have in
we
our
had basketball cards with real people on them.
Exactly. None of this fake stuff like now. It's where you have like the Space Jam All-Stars or something. We had real players like Horace Grant on our basketball cards. And I'm not going to... Yeah,
We had the players with heart like Tony Kukoc.
We had Christian Leitner, and we were damn happy to have him. Boy, all right. So that'll be the oldest thing I say today. But what in the Kentucky Fried Fuck were the Rams doing at the end of that game?
It was amazing. What? I can't believe I'm saying this, but like, why didn't they run the ball?
I know.
It's just like, okay, so you don't have any timeouts left. I get that. That's like a thing that happens. You don't have to stop the clock on every play.
You don't. You absolutely don't. And Sam can attest to it. I kept yelling at the TV, "Why are you passing? Why are you not running the ball? Why are you passing the ball?" Made no sense. At that, and then the delay of game that put Zerline in the kick, and in that you know what, you deserve that. That was your fault.
Yeah, I just like
dumbasses.
So, I mean, we can talk about it if we want, but like
briefly.
Yeah. Because you could run the ball and then you can like spike it. Like
yes!
That's like I understand clock management is a pressing issue, but it is not the only issue.
You can spike it. You can even fake spike it. There are options. All right. I'll go into that in the show in a sec. Next question is from Eddie, who asks, in the event of the zombie apocalypse or other dystopian nightmare, are we underestimating the potential chaos caused by widespread caffeine withdrawal?
Who wrote that?
That was Eddie on Twitter.
Oh, okay. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
It really, I don't know if you've watched Bird Box or anything.
I've not watched Bird Box. I watched A Quiet Place, which is the same thing, but with a different sense.
Pretty much, actually, because I saw The Quiet Place, and yeah, that was basically the same idea. Yeah, I wonder what a caffeine withdrawal. Because as far as I can tell, the only three ways that anything gets done in this country is through caffeine, Adderall, or cocaine. So if you take away all three of those, I don't know how anything gets done.
Like a mass migration to Colombia.
Or wherever anything else happens, yes.
Right. I mean, that's... Caffeine withdrawal has not, for me, led to a burst of activity. It's like headaches and stuff. And
cigarettes too. I mean, let's
right,
if cigarettes are totally taken out of the equation, at least there's going to be like a week or two of just misery.
Right. Yeah. It's
in
brutal,
the middle
right?
of post-apocalyptic world.
It's
misery.
These zombies. I can't.
I need my reds.
I don't have clean water. I can barely get enough food to eat. I gulp down this Snickers and I'm already crashing on the sugar high. I don't have enough energy. I've got really poor nutrition. I'm bleeding. But man, this headache is real bad.
This headache, boy, it really puts the whole post-apocalyptic setting into perspective.
Right. It's like, yeah, I've got like a sprained ankle that I'm just kind of limping around on. And, I've probably got an infectious disease I need to fight and I need to find some meds for that. But like the coffee shop's right there. The pharmacy is like down the block. I gotta see if I could just chew on some coffee beans or something.
I'm stuck on the cigarettes thing because I'm, the one of the worst things that can happen to a smoker is to go out for a smoke and then realize you don't have fire. Because it's so like the idea that, maybe you had to torch that zombie and now you no longer have a lighter, but you have a fresh pack of Reds. Like there's nothing, there are a few things.
Like, was that even worth it?
Exactly. Like, well, I mean, I'm living, but is this really life? So
No, I hadn't thought about that. Now that it affects me personally, I'm scared.
Right the fuck on. And in my post to them, I also included that like, would you have room for us in the stage? Would you have room for us either in the area or by the stage? I did see there is an outdoor area, which could also work in a pinch if it's not freezing and or raining. The only thing that we ask is that the bar music not be blaring too loudly during the time that we're recording.
That was special.
Can we not have a passive-aggressive DJ trying to, like, slowly raise the volume during the show?
I couldn't believe it. That was...
I mean,
it had its own beauty.
It did. It was a special moment in time for all of us who were in attendance, knowing that this show was going to border on unlistenable, but by God, we were going to finish this thing despite that DJ. If you wake up or like if you see like one angry person, or like if you like meet one like miserable person, maybe that's kind of on them. But if every person you meet is miserable, it might be on you.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
There might be
Ben Roethlisberger might just be a winning Jay Cutler.
With like a Nicorette like patch or whatever.
Yeah.
He's taking the Chantix and he's making calls in the night that he doesn't remember, and just like upsetting Juju Schuster, like 3 a.m. Hey, question about your mother. Like, wait, what? It's like 3 a.m. Ben, why are you calling me? Like this is what's going on. It's a mixture of Ambien, because apparently Ambien, when you take it late at night, can cause racism too, but
right, yeah.
It's the combination of Ambien and Chantix, and maybe it is all Ben Roethlisberger.
It's the worst of all Ray Liotta worlds.
You mix like a Ray Liotta with Roseanne situation. It's tragic, and that's the face of your organization. So just throwing. And you can't just kill them off like Roseanne did, or like ABC did for the show. I feel like we're going off topic. Joe Rigel asks, and the first thing that really stood out was how hopeless everything seemed for about a quarter and a half.
Yeah, no, it's with the first 3 drives, I think, from the Vikings end, offensively they were utter dog shit, right? Just as we remarked that there's not that much swearing on the show proper. One of us has gone to a furry convention, and his name is not Arif. So
this is not when I come out or something, okay? To be fair.
It's a safe space, James.
I DJ'd a wedding that was happening at the same time as a furry convention was happening, and
at the same I was just talking about passive voice wording like half an hour ago.
Yes.
Like, the media has been talking about Trey Wayne. No. At the same time as, that's a funny way of saying you participated in a furry convention.
I didn't say I participated in it. I just said things were seen. I thought it was funny as hell. I've been to random things like I once went with a girl to a paranormal convention just so I could just eat popcorn and watch the crazies. And let me tell you, it's totally worth it. If you ever get the chance to go there and just sit down with the Sasquatch like watchers, because they are hilarious.
The Sasquatchers?
Yes, the all female Sasquatch hunting team was there. The she squatches, they were there.
What a great name!
I know, right? I had a blast talking with them. I haven't smoked in years, but I wanted to just sit out there outside of the casino and just talk with them for hours and just smoking cigarettes and be like, so how close were you to the quote Bigfoot droppings? Well, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. No, I went, well, you kind of have to go to it because the people who were having the wedding had the doors open, and so people in the outfits were walking into the wedding. Like they were walking into the wedding reception. It was, and the people there were like, "Oh, this is awesome! We have all this food, eat." And so you have furries in like have their heads off, sitting at tables and eating from the buffet, and it's just, and they're all like overly sweaty because they're in these gigantic heavy outfits. And
what a great atmosphere, man! I mean, like, it's easy to bag on furries, but like, they're not hurting anyone.
No, they were just hungry and were curious and not being sexual at all that I saw. So yeah, it was entertaining.
I'm told the Don's going to turn this into Arif as a furry. I'm told the vast majority of the furry stuff is not sexual at all. So, I'll believe them. They know better than me.
Until it is. All right.
Until it is. Then it's very that.
Yes. Test, check. There we go. Okay.
Oh, Hudan's Chinese closed? Oh man.
Oh yeah, that's been a Verizon store forever.
Holy shit, dog.
Yep. You used to be able to do like a little hibachi thing at your table with that.
Yeah, I loved Hudan.
That was good stuff. China Garden, it keeps like almost closing.
Well, and then they like tell people, and people are like, no, and then they go to China Garden. Like,
that's basically it. Actually, that seems to be it. The two things that people do in this town are find out a restaurant is closing and then try to save it, and stay in line at the Taco Bell drive-through, which has the like. I have been to like 3-star restaurants that take less time to get their food out to you than like real, serious, complicated meals. They might actually have to kill the cow or whatever the meat is actually made out of before they like start on your meal. It's ridiculous. It's the one thing that everyone agrees on in town is that the management of the Taco Bell may be the worst in the entire country, but they're not going to stop going. But they are going to complain about it. Nobody's proactive enough to do anything about it, but by God. Twitter exists for dunking on people. As far as I can tell, it's the only reason why it should exist.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's the ultimate non-accountability accountability.
It's like having an accountability buddy from South Park. That's all. Have you had a chance to look at the show notes?
No, I'm currently negotiating for a Wentz jersey to be sent to me.
Why?
Well,
go on.
So I've been interacting with the Bleeding Green Nation Twitter account.
There's your first mistake. Go on.
And at one point they were like, look, if Wentz throws for 300 and 4 touchdowns, will you sing the Eagles fight song and post the video? And fucking absolutely not, right?
No.
So I said, if you think this account is about accountability, you've got another thing coming.
Oh, yeah.
So they sent a frowny face. So I said, look, if you send me a Wentz jersey or jersey, I'll wear it in those circumstances, assuming you mean versus the Vikings. This does put the cost on you, however, because even humiliated, I'm a cheap bastard.
Yeah, okay.
They said that they would do that if they had an NDSU one, but they're going to have to go with Photoshop, which, fair enough.
I can probably locate an NDSU one, but they don't need to know that, I suppose.
Yeah, no, this requires that they do the thing.
Oh, well, yes.
Yeah, we can't let them get away scot-free.
No, we're not subsidizing your humiliation.
Yeah. Humiliation comes at a price, and that's about $160 at NFLshop.com.
Just waiting for them to actually send you a number 11 Hassan jersey.
All right. Okay, so I should open the show notes.
Probably. Well, if you had a traditional media job, I would say that you could take that money out of your retirement fund and just get taxed on it through the next year from the IRS, but you don't got no retirement fund, do you? Fucking millennials.
That would be fucking phenomenal if I could take an enormous tax hit on a retirement fund that existed. I would gladly do that.
If said thing existed, it would be wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, that's happening, and then I got 4 requests while between the time I clicked in and you were fixing your mic to the time you were ready. I got 3 requests to do radio and podcasts. I was like, why all at once?
Well, it'll be even better when Trubisky throws 6 touchdowns to the left during the game and name checks you during the post game TV interview.
That would be hilarious. Is that good for my brand or bad? It's probably good for my brand.
Well, there's that whole any publicity is good publicity. I think this would count as good publicity. I think.
Yeah, if he goes off for 6 touchdowns to the left, that's bad. But then if he name checks me afterwards, that's good.
Yes,
it's that meme again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. If he throws 2 interceptions to the left, that's probably the best case scenario, even if he doesn't name check me afterwards. The name check is prime, but I just feel like that's not going to happen, so I should just hope for the interceptions.
No, you're living rent free in this man's head. This is
I kind of am, though. I'm pretty sure I am. Because they scripted passes to the left against the Packers to open the season. And then they just didn't throw to the left until the very end. And he didn't start throwing to the left very often until after the meme became popular last year, 5 weeks into the season. I'm pretty sure I have an influence on Bears play calling.
Well, I mean, not to... Yeah.
Well, look, if you just say the sentence it sounds crazy. But the evidence suggests that I am right.
Yeah. Let's let's go with that.
I bought 10 nice pens. Ow. And they're all...
Are you all right?
No, I'm pissed off. I bought 10 awesome pens, and they're all gone.
Oh.
I used one of them. Exactly one. And now they're all... And I think I know where they are. They're not with me, is the frustration.
Dang.
7, 10-ish. Meow.
God damn it, cat.
Norse Code Cat supports Norse Cod. And we'll be back in 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
you actually have to click on the link that you're supposed to, not the one you want to.
Yeah, we go into the podcast with the show notes that we have, not the ones that we might want to have.
Thank you, Arif Rumsfeld.
I feel like we've referenced that Rumsfeld quote
so many times.
It has to be above average for a podcast.
It's not quite at Tree Fitty level, but it's...
All right, promo, Matt Prater, Adam Vinatieri can die in a fire. That's right, I beat you in the first league after losing to you in the second league.
Yeah.
And Okay, cool. I'll talk some more shit when that time comes. Are we conscious?
I mean, that game was the living embodiment of the crusty "what the hell was that" gif.
Yeah. That was
so bad. From the refs to the weather to Cam Newton being accurate every third or fourth pass.
I mean, that was certainly a product that vaguely resembles football. So.
What the fuck was that? That was... Good Christ.
Here's the thing, though. So Chelsea watched the Democratic debate, and so did my brother. I mean, obviously he did. And I am still confident I ended up with a better viewing experience.
That's kind of what... Well, Dusty had said that both the game and the debate were trash, so...
Yeah, I was like debating, sending out a tweet about whether or not, the candidates on the stage or the quarterbacks in the game had a better handle on what was going on. But
decided that was too on brand.
Yeah, I decided to holster it, A, because it was a little too on brand, but B, it's like a long tweet. I don't know if that joke lands. I got to word it, and then it's not worth it.
No, if you have to work that hard for it, it's not.
Yeah.
On the plus side, though, the clip show has its moments. It has moments of being quite funny. And apparently I need a swear jar, because nearly all the clips I had involved me swearing.
How it sound?
I mean, you sound a bit like you've been listening to Morrissey.
No, I'm distracted. No, because I'm in Burlington, so I have no idea what the sound.
Oh, okay. I was like, how do I sound? Like, like you need a hug? Like, I don't have a good answer for that. Like, you need more pieces of ham? I've got nothing. So you mentioned something interesting there that I kind of want to expound on for just a moment. You had mentioned that Zimmer was commenting on the runs that were drawn up to be inside, and he ended up choosing to go outside. Do you think that's the sort of thing that Zimmer is going to try to rein in, or is it a situation where if he's being successful right now, he should be able to ride it out?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Wow, you sound really passive aggressive right now. Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
I had a really. If you weren't able to hear me, I just wanted to make sure that you could actually hear me. So let me just mark it here. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, now I can't find. Oh, duh! It's the Zencaster window that has the same tab as the Gmail. That makes sense, Arif. Good job.
Yeah, well,
I was like, where the fuck is the Gmail?
Yeah, you have to close a couple of the spreadsheets in order to find this.
I am down to 10 spreadsheets. 10 spreadsheets. 10. Yeah.
Okay.
That is misleading, however.
Because there are multiple sheets inside of the sheets?
No, I never count the tabbed. No, holy shit, no. That's not what I mean. I mean that the last time my computer crashed, it saved a bunch of spreadsheets in the cache. And so there are, in fact, 20 of those that Excel is just waiting to open. One of them is called fullback stats in all caps.
Yeah, this is the sound of silence. I can't.
By the way, the sound of silence was the losing answer to trivia I played last week.
That was the losing answer? What was the actual answer?
Or
do you not know because you put in the sound of silence?
Right. Apparently, the actual answer was you had to name 2 Simon and Garfunkel songs that peaked inside the top 10 that had 2 or fewer words in it. And I knew the sound of silence was 3 words. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying
I blanked after Mrs. Robinson, and then the bar started playing Parsley, Rosemary, Sage, and Thyme, or whatever the fuck that one is. And I couldn't get that out of my head. So all I could think of was Sound of Silence. And I was like, what if I sneak it? What if I just call it Hello
Sound
Darkness? And that maybe I can't think of another song. It didn't work. My gambit failed.
So was the answer Cecilia?
That was one of the answers. Apparently there's 4 answers.
So I'm not fading in and out and or hating everything at the moment?
I mean, you're probably hating everything, but I can hear you pretty clearly.
Well,
Yeah, you're not fading in and out.
Good, because I still hate everything.
Right.
Except the love of my life, Hall's cough drops.
I know. I'm enjoying a nice cup of masala chai to hopefully, I don't know if restore is the right word, but keep my voice from getting any shittier.
It's always at a level of shitty. We're just trying to keep it from getting shittier.
Well, I like to think that I have the sick Phoebe thing going on, where I get my sexy cold voice.
Oh, yeah. That was an episode of that show I never watched.
Smelly cat, smelly cat.
No, we're done. Cool. Bye, Dusty. It was good
It's been good to
on.
have you on. We got a couple clips for the Christmas show, so thank you for that. But
it's not your fault.
This is the sound of me hanging up.
You can't quit me.
If it sounds like we're hanging up, it's because I am.
It's because we are. It's because I'm wearing them now, and I just did.
Let's go to hell in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Norse Code, the #1 podcast for your Minnesota Vikings. Jesus fucking Christ, really?
Amazing timing.
So here's the thing. Is that not because I'm using my Mac and my Mac is hooked up to my iPhone. I got the message first on my Mac and then the phone vibrated. So like it didn't actually like the buzz was going to be inevitable anyway, but it didn't hit the fucking God. All right, let's try that one again. Fucking, why the hell? And of course, the message is that I received is of no importance whatsoever.
It's perfect.
No,
That's great.
not in the least is it relevant at all to my life situation, nothing. Just, it might as well have been Goatsy at this point. That's how affected I was by the moment there. With Hazel leaving, does that mean Cousins will be the next wide receivers coach? Absolutely.
That was funny. That's a kid.
We've never had an episode called Too Many Cooks. Have we?
I don't think so, despite the fact that we have had both Chris Cook and Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, but nobody cared about Chris Cook.
Right, and it's not like we were ever concerned that Dalvin Cook was like getting too many carries.
God, no. No. That is not a reality for this team.
Now, if they had traded for Brandon Cooks despite having Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs on the roster.
Yeah, then you could make the argument of too many cooks.
Yeah.
Too many cooks.
Too many cooks.
Too many cooks. The best part of that is the G.I. Joe thing, I think. When it goes into like the full like it goes into the army and then it goes into like space and like Star Trek stuff.
The space stuff was great.
Yeah. Cooks.
I
mean, you remember when CNN got in huge trouble about a decade or so ago when they pre-wrote all of these obituaries for people? Do you remember that at all?
No, but that's pretty common practice.
Yeah, but there was like a lot of them. And
Okay.
And the best part was somebody from that list died shortly thereafter, and they just copy and pasted the exact one that they had, one that they got caught in trouble with or whatever.
That's kind of an amazing own, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you, we're prepared.
I think obituaries. Let me see if I can find this, because this wasn't. Premature 2003. A technical glitch revealed obituaries for several famous but not yet dead people.
So they were like published or something.
Yeah,
accidentally.
they were all online, ready to go, including.
Yes.
And this is from the Snopes website. I'm not making any of this up. Dick Cheney, Ronald Reagan, who wasn't dead yet, Bob Hope, Fidel Castro, Pope John Paul II, Nelson Mandela, and Gerald Ford.
Jesus.
I still say there was more. Like, I think it was Reagan who died shortly thereafter, and they just popped up his exact image and things on it. It was...
Phenomenal.
The things I remember that I really shouldn't.
Because I remember there was like something about obituaries a while ago. I don't think it was 2003, but I remember it's like one of those serendipitous moments where you read about like this weird common practice that it's not that weird when you think about it, but like this practice where they like pre-write these obituaries for all these celebrities that they think might die soon, which is not in fact just related to age. They also have like Charlie Sheen, like, oh yeah, obviously he's gonna die soon. Like that makes sense. And like, you know, Courtney Love, who's not old, but like definitely willing to die soon. Mm-hmm. But I was reading about it and like how it does cause controversy because it's like not authentic or whatever. And then I watched a YouTube video on what the BBC does when the Queen dies.
I read the Guardian article all about that. It was a several page article on all the things they do for it. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Certainly everything I did this weekend was more interesting than anything you've done this weekend.
Probably.
I did nothing.
Is this the thing where you say I did nothing and it was everything I hoped it could be?
Right, yeah, it was glorious. I did nothing and it was beautiful.
Fantastic. I'm happy for you.
I heard you had quite the weekend.
It sounds less expensive than my weekend, yeah.
Yeah, I would certainly be complaining if I were you. That certainly seems like you've had a hellish weekend.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I got married, but
no big deal.
No big deal. People do this all the time, sometimes 2 or 3 times.
As a veteran of the wedding circuit, tell me, what does it feel like to have that experience behind your back?
It's certainly something, you know. It does feel a bit like having the dreaded vote of confidence there. You know, he's our guy and we're gonna stick with him, sort of thing. Like. No.
Just know that with every wedding that you participate in, you've got the experience of a number of weddings informing your approach. So
it's not quite a Voltron thing, but Voltron of weddings. No, it went well. It was a lot of fun, and nobody was eaten. That was important because the cannibal was featured prominently at the wedding. So no, it was good. Everything went about as well as it could. Sadly, Dusty was unable to make it. He's got a whole mess of stuff going on in Denver right now. So, but in his place, I noticed something at the reception, and I think I tweeted this out, that I may be using the tree fitty thing a bit too liberally. As we got several wedding gifts. I was going to say Christmas gifts. We got several wedding gifts that were Loch Ness Monster themed, including cups that I did tweet a picture of, and we also got custom pillows that had a picture of the Loch Ness Monster and Tree Fitty on it. In addition to many people providing us with $3.50 in their cards, and then during the dollar dance, just handing me $3.50. So I one of these two things has to happen. Either I need to kind of slow my roll on this and kind of not use it as often, or I need to do the opposite and just full on embrace this and just have it become
just lean in.
Yeah, there's one of two ways you can take this, and I think it ends up having to be the latter. I think I have to just full on embrace it and just accept that this is who I am from here on out. Tree Fitty will probably end up being my last words at this point, but yeah, so it was fun. It was good. People showed up and food was eaten, drinks were drank, and there's photographic and physical evidence that it actually happened. So these things are important. I got married. Yay. We're just exhausted. We were just exhausted after this weekend. We were going to go on a honeymoon today and yesterday, and we both looked at each other like we are like 5 koalas in a trench coat at this point. We are not people. We should probably just rest. We are useless at this point. So we're going to try.
I thought you were telling me that you went to Paradiso.
Well, we did what couples do shortly after they get married in Grand Forks. You go to Paradiso for lunch on the Tuesday afterwards, and you have a macho combo. That's just what you do. It's not tradition like in the South Park sense of the word for weddings, but it's close enough. It's quite, I'd say fine, but it was edible. It was food, and it was everything that I wanted it to be for Tuesday at 1:00 in the afternoon. So, is there any karmic justice to the thought that Nick Foles, who would be the backup and would come in when somebody was hurt for so long, finally gets his own shot, and in week 1 he goes down with an injury, and the person who comes in is somebody nobody's ever heard of?
I guess I don't hate him. I just hate what he's done.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is I don't necessarily think he's scum or something. I just don't agree with things that happened as a result of him.
Right. Well, you know how people have just started calling Nazi sympathizers Nazis? I think was an appropriate...
This has all sorts of potential. Go on.
Yeah, well, I just, that seems like a useful analogy at the moment that seems totally in line and proportional to the way we feel about Nick Foles, individually a good person, helping an evil organization with evil supporters. He was just doing his job.
Could you go as far as to say that he was simply following orders?
Yeah, I would say so, especially at the hands of a capable administrative staff and a remarkably efficient bureaucracy.
I'm not a fan of Hitler or Goebbels, but I do enjoy films from the Third Reich from 1932 to 1945.
I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Leni Riefenstahl. She has simply produced all the movies I like.
I'm not a fan of Henry Weinstein.
Jesus Christ. Somehow that seems worse.
That is recency bias in its finest.
Right.
Like, I'm not a big Weinstein fan, but man, those early Tarantino movies were You had mentioned that that the Vikings game was the only football disappointment of the weekend, And I just don't know if that's the case. I feel like our special guest has something to say. Eric, do you have something to say? You know, this would have been a perfect time for the reveal, and he wasn't ready. Damn it.
Huh?
Eric, can you, if you want to talk, you can talk.
Oh my God, he's logged in. What the fuck? Wow, I gotta have this thing up more often. What the fuck? Is Eric's mic not working?
That's what I'm checking right now.
What an incredible disappointment.
This was so good. And it all went to crap.
This is incredible.
I could have killed more time.
That's what Eric meant.
This version ends up in the Christmas show.
So when Eric tweeted to me, I can't wait for tonight's podcast, I was like, that's weird. But I didn't think about it. So he
tried to spoil it. I told him to leave it a surprise and that we were gonna just do it like this, but
do you think you can hear us? My mic isn't working.
Yeah, I got something similar.
Eric is typing. Fuck you, Eric.
What the hell?
What better way to hide his luxurious head of hair? And Twitter loved that too. You got like 19 whole likes, man. Incredible. It also says recording in progress, so that's exciting too. Eric, have you tried hitting the audio settings to see if it can find your mic? Like there's a
I'm telling him that right now.
It's taking a dump. Oh, that's unfortunate. Sounds like a Tamagotchi problem, right? Like my electronic pet has taken a shit and now I gotta clean it up.
You're just trying to sound way younger than you actually are, thanks to a bunch of Twitter.
Referencing Tamagotchis. Yeah, you're right. It's young man's game, Tamagotchi.
Hey, listen, I saw how you got freaked out over Fallout Boy the other day. So
Fallout Boy sucks. I'm just saying, Liz Warren just reminded us that 1990 was like 30 years ago. There's no way I'm going to be like Tamagotchi. That's how I connect with the youth.
Is that why you said that she couldn't win?
Well, no, she just said 19. I don't know what the context was. Somebody just tweeted out Liz Warren. But yeah, no, that's when I said she could win because I'm a sexist.
Yeah. Glad we're recording this.
Good. That won't come back to bite me or anything like that. Trying to get my regular mic working. So like, he has a better mic that he just wouldn't use for this podcast or something?
I think that's what he's trying to say.
Wow, that's rough.
Yeah.
I understand if he had his own podcast, but he doesn't, so.
He just guests on everybody else. He just crashes on on the couch.
Oh, no. Oh, the internal mic. Oh, we're fucked.
Oh, there's a chat. I never even noticed there was a chat down here.
What?
I've never you and I have never used it.
No. You've never noticed me using it.
Oh. Well, I've never noticed.
When I say, hey, this shit's not working, I type it into that chat, I don't get a response, then I go to the G chat and I'm like, hey, my shit's not working. What is that?
That sounds like the rustling of something. An evil is being brought into this universe.
Like an internal microphone from a laptop?
Possible. Still better than nothing. Eric, your microphone has disappointed us for the last time.
That's got to be it, right? That
has to be it. Yeah, it's not actually working now.
So why is it?
Eric, you could try a different browser if you'd like.
Oh,
yep. Okay, so he closed out. He's going to try to come back in.
Phenomenal content.
Hey, this is...
No, it was a great idea, James. Good job.
This had all the makings of being a really good idea. Well, congrats, Eric. And one way or another, you're making the Christmas show. You're making the Christmas show.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be awesome. Gosh. Yeah, my USB microphone tested it about a half hour ago, and then it said it wasn't recognized.
God damn, we're so old.
Are you still doing the whole like Fallout Boy thing?
I'm just saying this podcast escapade reflects the fact that our collective ages add up to over 100.
Okay.
Is Eric saying stuff? Because boy, is this rough. Is that?
I think maybe.
Yeah. Ping. That's
Eric
new.
Eric's voice has now been replaced by a 90s arcade.
Holy shit, he's R2-D2.
Eric is actually just the sounds of Dig Dug.
Yeah, I'm old. Dig Dug.
Okay, Eric, I don't know what you did to your microphone, but it's not doing what you want it to do. In any way, shape, or form.
You maybe want to switch back to... It seems like you're trying to talk. Stop and... Oh, hey. It seems like you're trying to talk. Stop and... Oh, hey.
Okay, so we're able to hear ourselves instead of...
Yeah, I still need to connect headphones if you can hear that.
Ourselves
Yep.
instead of that going...
So our collective ages are 100 then.
Yeah.
So our collective ages are 100 then.
I don't love hearing that. Oh, God. It's like a bad Twilight Zone episode. Jesus.
Just get at peace with the sound of hearing your own voice.
Get at peace with the sound of hearing your own voice.
You think I'd be there right now, given how much I love fucking talking.
It sucks.
I just edited 2 Christmas shows. I hate the sound of my own voice.
I hate the sound of my own voice now.
My voice can eat a dick.
Eric, please fix this.
I'm trying.
This is just one more great thing NDSU has brought into our lives. And he disappeared.
That's probably for the best.
This was such a good idea. Oh! Waiting for microphone access. This recording is finished.
Is this any better?
Much. Can I hear myself?
Yeah, let's... There's no feedback, so that's huge.
Okay.
That counts for
yes,
something.
I finally got headphones plugged in. I'm just going on the browser on my phone now.
Works for me. I'm reloading the project here to start recording. Just running its health checks, making sure it still works.
Make sure we didn't collect any STDs on the way.
That's important. We're adding a new partner, and this is, scary, so.
You gotta get yourself tested.
Jesus Christ. I like how Eric's health check revealed a pass, but revealed warnings. Proceed with caution.
That sounds about right. Story of my life.
As it turns out, this was also the name of my autobiography.
Some red flags here.
There's just a nice yellowish orange warning now for Eric. All right. Well, should we try to do the thing that we tried to do 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, I'll pretend to be surprised.
Sure.
Due to the magic of radio and editing, we can make this be seamless and not like there was 10 minutes of Eric trying to get his microphone to work. And I even threw it to you. I was like, all right, he's in. It says his health check is great. All right, well, let's do it. I throw it to you and there's silence. Like, oh, crap.
You must have been panicking.
Aw.
Yeah, tell me about it, because I'm talking. I had a really good line to come in, and I was going to surprise Arif, and then nothing. I couldn't hear anything.
We're not mad. We're just disappointed at you and your microphone.
Yep.
Pretty standard. All right.
I'm mad.
Well, I'll throw to Eric here in just a moment. Then let me mark this on the show notes, so I don't leave all of this in.
You're leaving the Santa Clara stuff in, right? Because that's where I jumped in.
Yes.
Okay.
Coming back in 3, 2, 1. Norse Code is the largest and only division of Norse Code LLC. You can find Norse Code on the Daily Norseman, SB Nation's Vikings blog at dailynorseman.com. You can also find it on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever fine podcasts are aggregated. Our Vikings blogger extraordinaire and generally useful human is Arif Hassan, and he can be found on Twitter at Arif Hassan NFL. I am your producer and co-host, and my name is James Pagashnik. You can find me at the show's official Twitter feed at norsecodepodcast. If you'd like to donate a few bucks to the show, you can make your one-time donation at paypal.me/norsecode, or a recurring monthly contribution can be made by visiting patreon.com/norsecode. Any questions or comments that won't fit in a tweet can also be sent to norsecodepodcast@gmail.com. On behalf of the Norse Code staff, we thank you so much for listening.
Our formula is this. We go out, we hit people in the mouth.